Hi, folks. You are watching and listening to a very special rendition edition of Sipping Off the Cuff. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Dave Dinius, and I'm in Reno, Nevada.
Dave. Has moved around more times than the storm front we had that came through here.
I've moved twice since you got the bottles for what we're about to do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I just got mine.
He just got his. Now, let me. This is a great story, folks. Okay, I'm gonna. We're gonna dissect and taste Blowfish Tequila. Blowfish.
This is I'll just start by saying this is a very nice presentation.
Yes, yes. I hesitate to open mine because all I have is the presentation. Let me tell you
You
the
drink it
story.
all.
Let me tell you the story. And the more I touch this, the more I anyway, let me tell you what happened.
Go
So
ahead. Tell them.
when I moved back to California from San Antonio, right when September of 2020, when LA became ground zero for the pandemic again,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So nobody was doing anything, nobody was going out, and we weren't doing live remotes like we were supposed to.
This is a beautiful bottle. It really is.
Yeah, go ahead and show it.
I will. I'm showing it.
Yeah,
I'm showing.
I know you're. In case for those of you who are what's the word I'm looking for? Zoom challenged.
Zoom challenge.
Zoom
Yes.
doesn't pick it up until he actually speaks. Okay, I can see him. I know what he's doing, but you folks out there in La La Land, are not seeing it. Or if you're on the podcast, you can't see it. But explain to
Continue
people
with your
what it looks
story.
like. Explain to people what it looks like. Go ahead and tell them.
Continue with your story. Okay. This is it. This is the blowfish.
Yeah, and it literally is a fish. It's a
Yeah,
it's
it's a
a
blowfish.
puffer. It's a isn't it poisonous?
I do believe those are, aren't
Yeah.
they? Oh.
Well, we now Dave and I did the entire line of what we had. We had the Blanco, the Reposado, uh,
The
and
Blanco,
yeah,
the Blanco,
and go ahead, yeah, show that.
the Reposado,
Yep. See, Dave still has his
almost has all of it.
almost. Yeah.
And because his story ties into my story.
Right. So this bottle, Dave never got. It was delivered by the brand owner. He left it on my porch. Sent me a text. None of us we were all answering in those days. Remember the pandemic? We were all answering our doors with a mask on. We were keeping our distance. This business of
Mask on and a
alcohol.
bottle of Lysol.
Yeah, really, right. We weren't shaking hands. We weren't doing any of that like we're finally doing now, 4 years later, right?
Right.
And so Dave never got his, and I was never able to get anyone to send Dave his bottle because at the time, Dave, you were living in Virginia, right?
I was in Virginia at that time. Yes.
Okay. So Virginia is a control state. Some people can send stuff out, some people cannot send stuff out, some people dare, some people don't dare. Okay. So I said, you know what? I'm never going to open this. I'm just going to hang on to it. Um, and so I hadn't even looked at it. And then Dave, somebody from Blowfish finally reached out to us at the tail end of 2023.
Yep.
And I said, I have a bottle of the XA. Dave never got his.
What the
Let
hell?
me give you his address. If you could make that happen, that'd be great. We finally get to do the review, right? So today I haven't even looked at it. I had it in a box somewhere. I had to find it on my living room floor. It's been sitting there for like 3 years and a month. All right, maybe that.
Yeah.
So I pull it out just now, only a few minutes before we went on the air, before we start recording this. And I look at it. I mean, I did everything. I rinsed out my mouth. I had tastings earlier today, so I wanted to get really into this, and I couldn't figure out why it was kind of a little bit discolored. It looked a little blue. You might see that on camera. On my camera, it looks blue. It's not. It's supposed to look black like this. Okay.
Yep.
And then I couldn't figure out. This is magnetic, folks. This little thing is supposed to just pop right open. It was like stuck. And
Holy
I
shit.
thought to myself, well, maybe it's just dust or something, right? Because it's on my living room floor for that long. Okay. I opened it up and I could smell like it had leaked on everything. And the funny thing was the box I had it in had no wet spot. There was nothing to say that it had leaked or anything. This is what I'm looking at, folks. A sealed bottle of nothing. That's just it. It's all gone.
I think they got word of when we did the reviews. Mine came across the country with me on an airplane, and I lost almost all of the añejo and a good portion of the, or good portion of the añejo, just about all of the blanco.
Yeah. When Dave and I did the Blanco, he said, take a look. It's well, you can see the review. Go look
Yes,
for the review of the Blanco. I mean, this box is a nice box. I mean, but it's like it's at this point, it's like warped. It's warped.
but
So so
I think
anyway, so I texted Dave. I said, Dave, I got nothing. And I said, but we're gonna do the review anyway. So, because we have a pretty good idea, and Dave usually doesn't go through all of his bottles. I mean, there are some that he's gone through, like,
oh yeah,
I mean, he makes no bones about it. If it's good, he's going to drink it.
yep,
Uh,
I do.
this one I've been hoarding. So here it is, folks. Look, sealed. I don't. You can see the cellophane on it. I have not. You see the caramelization where it just
Yep,
seeped out, I guess. And the remnants of it, the box is stickier, but even the bottle's not that sticky, dude.
not that sticky.
No.
That could be something good. Now, I just pulled off 3 layers of cellophane off of off of
Yeah.
this one.
And
So
remember when you pulled it the first time, it's got a substantial cork.
it's a big cork, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it seals that well. Because I'm actually feeling
Apparently not.
I
So I don't know how this happened, folks. You see, his finger's wet.
my finger's wet, and that was just touching just around the cork area here. So that's
It just I can tell you what it smells like, but it really smells like tequila that had just dissipated in a cardboard box. But but a difference, because the inside of this box is like felt.
yeah.
So got that felt filter. That's a mouthful. So anyway, I'm not going to do the review. I'm going to rely on Dave. And have they changed the story on the inside, Dave? Did they?
I don't know. I don't know. Blowfish inspired by love. Mission is simple: to offer the most customer-concentric brand experience, inspiring true satisfaction by connecting people with real tequila.
Wow,
So
that really smells deep in there, man.
yeah,
That's holy cow. Yeah,
welcome to the family. Blowfish Tequila, Michael Brown. Michael Brown is the brand owner, by the way.
oh, okay. Yeah. And I would imagine he's still with the company, that it's still his
Yeah,
tequila.
he is still the owner.
Okay. Because the person who reached out to us is a new officer in the company,
Yes.
which I thought, well, hey, that's great. He reached out to me on LinkedIn. He reached out to Dave,
Mhm.
and we kind of told him what was going on. I said, we've had this bottle around since 2020. And had I went there to go find mine, I thought I had a full bottle. I swear. I didn't, I don't, I thought this is one of those where I'm never going to drink it. I'm not going to touch it until Dave gets his.
Yeah, we were waiting to try and get it so where if we got together and had the time, we were going to do the reviews, and we just never had the time when we were together because it was
Yeah,
so short and had other agendas.
which
Yeah.
was once in San Diego in the last 4 years, that one time.
Yes. Yep.
And I swear I didn't spill it. Like I say, it was still sealed. I mean,
Yep.
so I don't know. It's a mystery to me, but be that as it may, go ahead, Dave. You lead the way. I'll just sit here and watch you, okay?
You'll
Because
sit here and watch me.
I'll be asking you questions. What kind of glassware are you going to use?
I am going to use our official tasting glass of the Tequila Aficionado media, the
Yeah,
Tazo
that's the
Jarrito.
Stasso Jarrito.
I'm going with the short one, the Mezcal.
Okay. Okay.
So
You want to get all the aromas.
I want to get all the aromas. Yes, I do.
As soon as Dave pours it, we'll give you more of the backstory, the ins and outs. If you haven't seen any of the reviews of the previous expressions, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that cork is pretty moist.
You know, that's a word you don't use often.
Nope.
You're licking it off
But
your hands and everything
yeah,
else.
it is so cute. It's got the little puffer fish going on there. I
It's,
can't
you
even
know, it's a
show you call
beautiful
them.
bottle. I'm not gonna lie. I think you, between you and I, we that year we gave it a brand of promise for packaging because we really enjoyed the packaging. I thought it was very
Yes,
unique.
and I think it probably was a winner for that.
I think so too. Yeah. Um, so here we go.
So here we go.
What do you smell? Did you get some on your hands?
I
What
did
did
get a
you
little in
get?
my hand. Nothing really off. I'm picking up a little oak though.
Okay. Okay.
So, it is an extra añejo. Uh, let's see if I can figure out how long it's been there.
Well, legally, if it's an extra añejo, it has to be over 3 years and over, but they don't
Yeah,
necessarily have to
three
tell
years
you
and
how
over.
long.
Yeah, I was going to try and see if what kind of barrels or whatever. But anyway, it's got a nice extra
Wow.
añejo color.
Look how dark it is.
Yes, it's a beautiful dark color. We got some legs forming here. They're kind of a little slow, but they're there, definitely. Can you see them? And then we got
Yeah.
some
Oh,
tears
yeah.
forming at the top.
I mean, as I recall, it looks very similar to all the other expressions that we tried that day. We did them. Usually, we'll do all the expressions at once,
Yes,
except for this one because well, Dave just got it.
Dave just got it.
Yeah.
Dave just got it. Dave's a slacker.
No, it's not your fault, man. I tried. I know we tried to get it, but
I know.
there was a lot of uh I guess there was a lot of miscommunication at the time we sent them emails. We let them know that they had
Yeah,
won.
because Mike had actually hit me up, the owner, Michael. He actually hit me up over the summer, last summer, asking me why we didn't do it. I was
Oh,
like,
really?
dude,
And you told him?
I didn't get the extra añejo, and we weren't about to do it with just one.
Yeah.
But here we are
But here we are,
doing it with just one.
well, yeah, but I that's folks, this is what happens when it's different when a brand doesn't have an extra añejo, and you wait around for that. I mean, that's a they roll it out. Like for instance, Cardenas Legacy. We
Yes.
just did a tasting with them. By the time you see this, folks, it will have passed. Like this is like mid to end of January
Yep.
when we're recording this, and we just did a tasting of Cardenas Legacy at the El Cholo in Pasadena, where myself and Alex Perez, our founder, have a residency going on,
Yep.
and we're holding monthly, and now come February, bi-monthly tastings. And Cardenas Legacy, Chris Cardenas was there at our one and only one in January, and he had 2 bottles of the extra añejo, the añejo, I'm sorry, that weren't ready yet.
Right.
So and that's okay. We'll get the first 2 expressions generally, and then when the new expressions are ready, the añejo and then the extra añejo, if that's what's going to happen, or even a
Mhm.
cristalino, you get those later, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But when you have all 4 expressions and they're all available,
Well, when I talked to him at Mammoth, I did a little interview with him then, and that's online too. But the extra añejo was very limited to what they had. And I think they did have it when they delivered it to you, but I think it was kind of hard to get it to me or
Well, yeah,
something.
because at the time I think the owner lives in like somewhere in like Santa Clarita, somewhere in the Southern
He's
California
somewhere in the
area.
LA area.
So it was easier for him to just swing by and drop it off, which is okay. That's fine. We do that a lot. We get that a lot. I get a lot of knocks on my door. I never even know when they're coming. Uh, but in your case, they can either send it to him or send him a sample, or
Yeah,
or make it available to them. I mean, it they have ways, okay?
they
There
have
are
ways.
ways
Yeah.
to get these, but now that you're back, in a non-control state, I
Yes.
thought that was great. But in the meantime, mine just evaporated.
Evaporated.
So what are you getting on the nose? Tell me what you get on the
Disappeared.
nose.
Okay. So what am I getting on the nose? This is a little different extra añejo from what I would normally drink. Suerte Extra Anejo, Don Pilar Extra Anejo. I love those guys, those two. That is what I like to drink for an extra añejo, and I'm not getting quite the depth in the oak and the other subtle nuances that they have. It's
Is there a lot of alcohol on it?
no, there's not. That's kind of what's surprising, and it's really subtle.
Well, it is 80 proof. So you don't happen to have your Glencairn handy, do you?
I do.
Just for kicks and giggles. I say pour some half of it in the Glencairn and let it open up a little bit because Dave just broke the seal off of his, and I haven't even
Yeah.
touched the seal off of mine. And by the way, my bottle is not cracked either. I did not
No,
break it.
no, it's not.
So that was the weird part. I thought maybe
Oh,
I dropped it, maybe it broke, but that never happened.
oh, there is a difference.
Okay, well, the jarrito that Dave is using is the wider mouth jarrito that we use generally for mezcal. So it's for
Mezcal,
a
yes.
higher proof.
Yes. Okay, I wasn't totally remembering that part of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's why and it looks beautiful. I still, it's a lovely color. I mean, it's like what would you say, Dave? A deep amber, or it's got like,
It's a deep amber, almost a bourbon color
okay.
that you would get from a bourbon that you would normally drink. So it's almost there. So how long it's been sitting in the barrel? I'd have to say two to
Anybody's guess,
three,
right?
2 to 3, right?
Well, it's extra añejo, so at least, like I said, it's at least 3 years or more.
3, yeah, 3. Okay, 3. Yeah, I don't see anything as far as how long it's been there.
Yeah, let's I'm kind of looking into the back end of their website and see what they and I guess we should be totally upfront that the distillery is I believe it's 1438. Am I correct?
I do believe so. Yes, 1438.
Yes, that is um
The home to many a brands.
yes, it is. Well,
A
he's in
hundred,
Santa Ana. It's imported by a company in Santa Ana, which is Orange County here in Southern California.
a hundred and
Uh,
92 brands in production.
yes. It's Destiladora del Valle, also known as Casa Maestri. Uh, and for those of you who have been following us, you understand that particular distillery uh, it's a maquiladora, it's a contract distillery, and so they have, you know,
You
uh,
go in, you buy a profile that you like, and
right, right.
they make it for
Uh,
you, bottle it
yeah, it
for you.
doesn't tell you how long it's been aged at all. And that's okay. I mean, we know what the laws say. So
Yes,
yeah, there's not a whole lot of information on that. Very, very minimal information, more descriptors than anything else.
yes.
So
You're on the Blowfish website.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So and
nice website though.
that's fine. I mean, that's what they're supposed to give you. What are you getting on it? The first we got the nose, and you said the nose is better in the Glencairn, correct?
Yeah, it's a little better in the Glencairn. It's showing a little more depth there.
Okay.
I'm getting maybe a hint of the agave. I'm getting some oak, but it's not an overpowering oak. Not like somebody's trying to blow your head off with a bunch of oak. So it's definitely not super oaky on the nose.
Okay.
Maybe a mild sweetness with a like almost peppery. Depends which nostril I'm kind of hitting there.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Well, left brain, right brain, you got to hit them all.
Yeah,
And in the center too. That's now when you're swirling it, is it opening up some more or not? Is it just pretty much
a little.
what's
It's opened up a little.
okay?
It's yeah.
And your legs and tears are how? Pretty thick. They
Yeah,
looked
they're
even
still
thick on
there.
that glass.
Yeah, they're still there.
Okay.
They're nice in the Glencairn, so oops, down a little right there.
Yep.
My camera stopped following me. Stop.
Nah. So take a first sip and you tell me what I mean, unless you're
No,
not ready. Are you ready?
you
Because
yeah, I'm ready. Yeah,
okay, go
you
for it.
didn't get it, so
No, I didn't know. You're leading me, so I've got to rely on you.
ooh, nice peppery burst at the top of my palate and the back of my tongue.
Uh-huh.
Not not the sweetness that I was almost expecting from the añejo.
Yeah, yeah.
This has got a spicy peppery,
Would you say like a hot cinnamon maybe or just
not no, not quite the hot cinnamon. Not like the red hot cinnamon.
right, right.
A real warm cinnamon,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay.
More of a kind of a natural type of cinnamon. Hmm. There's the barrel. That time I could taste the barrel in the
Uh-huh.
back there. It's after tasting, I gotta admit, after tasting the añejo, it's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
I
because the añejo was really off-putting for us, I think. Now the
yeah,
Blanco, generally the Blanco from this distillery is stellar. Every
and
Blanco I've
that
ever had from these guys is amazing. And I guess their process, they're still using Highlands and Lowlands together.
yeah, and this Blanco was actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Blanco was all the Blancos out of that distillery, I don't have a problem with. There's maybe one or two of their brands that they did something to the Blanco that they shouldn't have. But that was, because that was what the owners, the guys who own the brand, that's what they wanted.
Yeah,
But
and
generally speaking, their Blancos and even some of their Repos are not bad at all.
yeah, I'm getting a little of the warm and fuzzies still there, so it's kind of medium to long finish, which is nice.
This is an 80 proof, right? That's what I think is. Um, I don't think it's a much higher proof. I think it came in at 80.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's just 80. The whole line has been just 80
Yeah,
proofs.
yeah, it's just 80. Okay. Uh-oh. There he goes.
It's wood. There's some wood there. Oh, nothing off-putting. Like I think before we got some of the orange peel type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and that's almost like their stamp. That's because a lot of their brands have that orange peel, orange oil kind of after smell.
I'm
Um,
not really picking it up on this.
well, the
I'm
funny thing
a
was,
little surprised.
well, okay, so I'm thinking, why is it sticking? And obviously, that you're going to have a little, if anything spills or dissipates and you haven't touched it for a while, it doesn't matter what the box is, you're going to get a little bit of stickiness, but it wasn't like I had to cut it open with my box cutter, right?
Yeah, my
And
hands aren't sticky, so I
yeah,
mean, it's a good
in
thing.
the box, even though you can tell by the off color how it's seeped. See,
Yeah,
I think this is seepage. I really do.
yeah,
And
mine's nice and black. So
yeah, his is black. Well, see, his looks like this front cover. See? But you see how it turns from black to blue?
yeah,
That's where all the seepage happened. But I gotta tell you, Dave, I thought it would be stickier. I mean, I had preconceived notions about this brand,
so did I.
and because of what we experienced with especially with the añejo.
Yeah.
But the oddly enough, the box is not that sticky, even though it is kind of a felt on the inside,
Mhm.
but it doesn't, there's no telling how long, maybe after it spilled originally it was sticky, but you've had some spillage on there right now in your hands. So
Yeah, and
you would know.
I just put some in and it's not sticky, so it's not, I don't think it's sweetened. But
Wow.
nothing like the añejo.
Yeah. That añejo was a little bit over the top, as I recall.
Yeah, and even the wife there, she just took a taste of this and said, "No, it's nothing like the añejo we got."
Let me ask
Or,
you, Dave, do you
or
feel, let me put this down here before I drop something. Do you feel that that it's thinner? I mean, how's the mouth feel? That's what I was going to ask you. How's it feel in the mouth? Is it thick enough? Is it
it's thick enough. I'm still getting, I can still feel it there on the
okay?
mouth. I can still feel it. It's, you know, there's a little bit of thickness to it, if that's what you're getting at. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I want to know if it's dry or is it thin? Does it come
It's a
across?
little dry. It's a little dry.
Okay, because the reason I ask is sometimes these extra añejos they water them down almost too much,
Hmm.
and then it feels thin in your mouth, like it's been dumbed down, and almost feels too watery, you know. But that doesn't sound like what you got.
No, it's not overly thick either. It's a nice medium mouthfeel.
Okay.
And I'm still getting the peppery notes. It's on the front of the tongue and in the back of the throat a little bit.
See, now I'm jealous because that's not what I had anticipated,
It's
right?
not what I had anticipated either. I'm surprised.
Pleasantly surprised. Look at that.
Yeah, very pleasantly surprised.
So what's your bottom line?
Uh, if I had my little stick, I'd say brand of
Oh, you
promise
mean like this one here? You
on the
see,
extra
we were like this one here says brand of promise. We were so, you know, it because that's just what we have been seeing from this distillery. If the distillery is going to use the type of additives that it has used with other brands in the past, then we're going to go, well, this is going to taste like it's very similar to what we've had before. You and I have had some other ones,
Yeah,
you know.
if they played with this one, if they played with it, they
Yeah.
did a very well job of it.
Okay.
It's not, it doesn't taste really fake.
That's good. That and I'll have to tell you, it's the second one I've had from that distillery that I'm impressed with. Uh, Skip and I at the end of I was it the end of last year, I think, maybe the beginning of this year. Um, we tried a Mila tequila. It was sent to myself and Skip, and I think it only comes in one expression. I want to say it's an extra añejo. Nice box, nice presentation, beautiful bottle, and it comes from the same distillery. And I thought, oh, here we go. It's just, I had that bad blowfish thing happen, and
You-
honestly, and I said this in a review, I didn't want to like it, but it was actually not bad. And
yeah.
you know what? I'll say, well, I'll say it for you, and you tell me. What I said was that this, to me, is an encouraging sign by the distillery that they've listened to what's going on out there, and they're going, you know what? How about we bring, I
How
know,
about we tone it down a little bit?
right. You know, Alex and I talk about this all the time, and there are so many uh, cultish people out there going, I'm not drinking anything with additives. I want complete transparency. And you know what, folks? And I said this before, I will say it again. Additives in the old days was called finishing and polishing, and it was
Yep.
part of the distillation process, and it was done in a much more elegant fashion. I just got off some tastings with Eric, and I should have recorded it because Eric and I were just really geeking out on stuff like that. And Eric said, you know, there are other segments of the spirits industry where it's the rums and
Oh yeah,
some of, you know,
definitely.
I said sherry barrels and some cognacs, they do that. And it's not considered adulteration. It is part of the process if it's done elegantly.
Yes, if it's done elegantly.
I don't think you ever remember I did it with, I did the review with Jim Molly Nolly. They had an añejo that was just superb, and it started with a spectacular blanco. And I have to look back at some of the old reviews or even some of the old empty bottles I have, where the distillery was, and it was really well done. It was well done like in the old days where it was not off-putting. It was probably just done for consistency's sake, well balanced. And if you didn't know any different, you were just going to go, you know, and the agave was still there, which is what we loved.
Right.
So what do you think? Is this a really promising thing for you? Is this like, do you think maybe they turned the corner on some of this stuff?
Maybe they did. Maybe they did.
I
It,
you know, now I got to ask them for a bottle so we can go back and do the tasting again, right?
or
Because I
I'd
didn't know what
bottle
to
up a
expect,
little and
folks.
send it to you.
You know, I mean, that's what we call it sipping off the cuff. We never know how it's gonna work until I get down to my living room and pick up the bottle and find out that the bottle's dissipated, right?
There's like three. I'm just scrolling through their list of brands, and there's three of them that we did that come out of that distillery. Veneno,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was pretty good.
Oh, Veneno comes out of there?
It's, it's what it says.
No kidding. They must I don't
Uh,
know. They must have moved it because it wasn't coming out of there before.
what was the other one? Abre, the one with the eyes. Open your eyes.
Oh,
Abre
Abre
Ojos.
Ojos.
Abre Ojos was
Yeah.
another one. I like that brand.
Yeah, yeah. And they only had a Blanco and Repo, as far as I remember, for
Yeah,
years.
those were both really good.
Yeah.
And there was one other. Yeah, I lost it already. So
There was I think Celaya comes out of there. And in fact, that's the reason Celaya I did with Skip, and we did it last year with Skip, and we did the whole line. And you know, it was the Blanco and Repo were decent, and then the Añejo just fell off the rails. And Skip has a sweet tooth. He really generally leans toward that. So when we had a Mila, that's the reason I had it sent to it. Plus, the guy has a body shop here, and the owner has a body shop in Azusa.
yeah,
So it was easy for him to drop it off at at Skip's place in LA. He had somebody drop it off. He actually sent me another bottle.
really.
Yeah, in a wooden box and everything. It's like he was so jazzed with his review. So that's the second one, folks, that is coming out of that distillery that looks like things are, maybe they turned the corner. Maybe they're watching their quality control.
El Jefe was the other one that we did, and
Yeah,
that
that El
wasn't,
Jefe, nah,
no,
their
no.
Reposado was way over the top. It was way
Yeah,
too
that
much.
one went too far.
And then Celaya, what was kind of like El Jefe light. And it was too bad because the two guys that own it are like ex NFL players. They have really great branding. The branding is cool. Um, so now that it's opened up for you, are you getting anything else out of it?
Almost that kind of the minty you know, how kind of like mint when you inhale it in, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
has that nice little, I'm getting a little of that right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
But I
Well,
guess,
if Dave says, I trust Dave, he's one of our senior tasters. He says, if it's a valid brand of promise, and between he and I, we've had some pretty, we've had some dogs.
we have had some
We've had
dogs,
some
yes.
dogs. No offense to your dog, but we've had
No,
some dogs.
yes, we have.
And I'm, I, I guess at this point, I guess I have to say that I'm, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking forward to them really switching things around at that distillery and doing it using the ability to use additives, and you can only use 4 of them, and
Yeah,
they all have to be, they have to be unharmful to humans. Okay, so it's not
yes.
okay. It's not going to hurt you. You're not going to get it. You're not. It doesn't give you. It will not give you a hangover. Okay, it's not. That's not what they do. So I'm. This is a promising sign for me, because like I said with Amila, I didn't want to like it, but it's actually very well done. Like in the old school way, where it was just a hint of something, but not enough to make you go, ew, what's that?
Now, the price point on this one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead. You first. I think I saw a little bit of that, but go ahead.
Kagan bottle, 188. Liquor
Yikes.
Burst, 188.
Wow.
If you want to impress somebody with a nice bottle, go
Yeah.
ahead and
What's
spend it.
what's the Blanco going for? We haven't even looked at these prices since we did the review back in what 2019, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I see one for 57.
Yeah,
They're
you know what?
they're kind of
That's a
spread
good
out.
price for that Blanco. The Blanco, like I said before, the Blanco from this distillery is usually Highlands and Lowlands, and it's baked together and then shredded together, and so it's not like it's not blended. They're using the agave, and they're either using their baked ovens or they're using autoclaves, and they have both. So that's their MO. And their Blancos, every single Blanco I've had from this distillery is really well done.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
you
surprised with
know,
this one. I'm surprised with this one. Really, I am.
yeah,
It's a big turnaround from the Añejo. They did something with the Añejo that just, no.
yeah. Now, it says extended aging process produces a complex flavor and aroma. Okay, they're looking anywhere from 187, and this they're calling it Blowfish Grand Reserva Extra Anejo. And this one, I, 250 bucks for 3 to 6 day delivery. That's a little steep, folks.
That's a little steep. Yeah.
I don't know if I would actually go that far, but you know what? It's like
If I could,
Amila. Amila has a beautiful bottle, Dave. If you haven't seen our review on Amila, go check it out. Skip and I did the review. It's beautiful presentation. It's shaped like a penka. It's shaped like the old 1942 bottles, where it's
yeah,
shaped
I
like
think I saw that. I did see that one.
yeah, yeah. And they delivered another bottle to me. I didn't even know it was coming. They knocked on my door one morning and they handed me this bottle for like Christmas. And it comes in a wooden box. It's like, the presentation completely different from what they sent to us for the review.
Right.
And it's gorgeous. And, I think personally, is if it was for me, I probably it wouldn't be my first choice to go get, because it's not cheap. Okay. But
Yeah.
if you're looking for a really great gift for like a holiday or a graduation or a yeah, you know, knock yourself out, man.
And yeah, I'm, I- I'm not surprised, or I shouldn't say I'm not surprised. I am very surprised with this one. And yeah,
Hey, you know what, Blowfish? You don't blow. That's good. So here we go. Brand of Promise nominee, extra añejo category. I will, I will concede to the gentleman from Nevada, my distinguished colleague from Nevada, and his palate. If I get one, great. We'll do this again together. But I'm not gonna beg for it or anything. I think first of all, I appreciate that the folks at Blowfish finally made it happen for Dave.
So
You know,
I'm thankful. Yeah.
yeah, and it gives me hope. It's really hopeful now that maybe they're finally buckling down on their quality control. Again, I have nothing against maquiladora simply because they create jobs and they keep people employed. All right,
Okay.
they make money.
Fair enough.
you know, I'm okay with that. People give La Cofradia a ration of shit, and honestly, they create jobs. Because there are places with diffusers. They don't make jobs for anybody. They only hire chemical engineers because they don't need anyone. They don't
Yeah,
need anybody else.
it does say it's stone brick ovens and autoclave are used at there. So
Yeah. And a part of the marketing for most brands that come out of there says, well, it's a blend of highlands and lowlands. That's been their MO for years. That's just, it means they buy from everybody, they shred it and then bake it together, and you get a very distinctive flavor profile for those blancos. And like I say, I've only had one blanco coming out of there that I did not like. In fact, Matt and I did that one.
oh yeah.
And it was so bad. Oh my God. They put the orange, that orange after thing
In the
that they do
Blanco?
in the Blanco.
Mm.
Yeah. And it was like, what am I drinking here? Oh my God. It was just so, you know, anyway. Well, congratulations, Blowfish. I'm glad, thanks to Mike and his crew, his new I guess it's the CFO that contacted us. I forget his name offhand, but thanks for making that
Started
happen.
with an A.
Do you get a name? Let's get a name and give him a shout out because
Yeah,
I'm
working on it.
impressed. I'm impressed that Dave's impressed because Dave's he's one of our senior tasters, and
I'm starting to get the hang of it.
yeah, finally, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Uh, so if
Adam was his name. So
Adam, so thank you, Adam, for making that happen. I appreciate it. That's our take on Blowfish Extra Añejo. I have an empty bottle, not because I drank it all, it's because it dissipated. You're gonna have to rerun this whole thing and watch the beginning of this whole story. But that's what it looks like in Dave's
this is
hands.
what it looks like. So
It's
it's a
really a
nice,
hell of a
pretty
bottle
bottle.
too, folks. I mean, it's really a nice bottle, but be
Yeah.
aware. Be
Nice
aware
and heady, whatever that is.
that looks like a snake, but it's not a snake. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
don't
anyway,
know.
be aware that there is a danger of seepage, so be
Yes, there
very
is.
careful.
The whole
Because
lineup.
even if you stand it up like this, there's still a danger of something being lost. Like I lost I can't believe I lost the whole thing
It had to be laying down somewhere.
standing up. When you have a box, because especially if you're packaging it with other bottles in the same
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
there's no reason to lay it down. You got to stand it up because it allows for more room. If I laid this thing down like that flat, there'd be no room for anything to be able to stack next to it. So,
It's
I'll
weird.
take the blame, but that's our take on Blowfish Extra Añejo. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is.
Dave Dinius in Reno, Nevada.
And you have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like. If you've had it, tell us where you're getting it, how much you're
Comments. We
paying
love
for it.
them.
Yeah. And then whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.